We good? All right. Good morning. Are we good?
Yep, you're
Okay, sorry.
good.
Good morning, everybody. We are here live on Pivot Shift. I am your guest host. It is Aloha Friday. And as always, I just want to say thank you for showing up. You could be anywhere you want to be at 8 o'clock. Some of you 5 o'clock that show up on the west coast of Florida, and yet you choose to be here to participate and grow. We had a great conversation, America's favorite game show. If you're not on the pre-show, I would encourage you hop on the pre-show. Today we're just going to kind of recap a little bit of this amazing week that we've had and refer back to the red book, which is MREA, the shift book, and the one thing, no specific page. So stay tuned. You don't have to have the book. We're going to kind of walk through it. However, before we ever get into content, we always start off with a few tell me something goods. And Barb Whitney, your hand shot up. What do you have for us today?
Well, of course, it's not really a tell, it's just I want to share. And you know a book I probably read from this morning. So I would just want to share this with everybody on page 127. It's not too late. No matter who you are, no matter what you did, no matter where you've come from, you can always change and become a better version of yourself. Peace, strength, and direction will come to you when you manage to tune out the noisy judgments of others in an effort to better hear the soft and steady hum of your own inner strength. And once you hear it, you will realize that it's not too late to be what you might have been. So drown those naysayers out and go be you.
I love that. Yeah, be you. Gary Keller says, unless you're Batman, then be Batman. But if you're not Batman, just be you. Tanya Harris, what do you got? Something good.
Hey, thank you so much for picking on me and the opportunity. So today I close on my first biggest transaction. I've been doing this for over 5 years, and I'll tell you, it's all about consistency. It is about doing your open houses, following up. I've followed up with these people for a year. They were a traveling RV family for 3 years, and they liked a parcel of land that I had on the market, and it didn't fit their needs. So I just kept in communication with them, and for a full year, just picking their brain about where you at, what are you guys doing? Just I was more fascinated with them and their RV life with trying to find them a house. So we closed today, and I'm just super excited. And I owe it all to this group and Rico because I followed his playbook, and this is what happens when you do the work.
I love that, Tanya. Thank you for sharing that and congratulations. And it's just saying, stay in contact with people. They're people for a reason. We're going to get the last two, Kathy and Jenny, in for Tell Me Something Goods, and we're going to get into it. So, where'd you go, Kathy? There you are.
Oh, good morning. Hi. I was reminded over the last few weeks about the benefit of the experience that we provide to clients or potential clients. And so last week, I had a closing on something from a repeat client because the experience that I had given them during their buy. And then I got a new client because of the experience interacting with them. They had been a lead from that, other site that we won't mention names. But the experience they chose me to work with in terms of finding their home. And then I got a call for a call, come list me this week because the experience that they had heard about that I had given to a friend of theirs. So I think just in terms of that, how do you make people feel? How do you take care of them? How do you make sure they feel really good in the experience as you go through the transaction is more powerful than you may even realize. So that's something good. Thank you.
100%, Kathy. Thank you for sharing that. It is about the experience and how you make people feel, and it's not about the transaction. They'll always remember that and refer you. Great job. All right, Jenny Hayes.
Good morning, Leah. I got this in the mail yesterday. Sorry, I capped in 6 weeks after a really slow start to the year. I capped in 6 weeks.
Congratulations. And I know there are so many people that are, I mean, you can see the round of applause. Your journey has been amazing. And I can't wait for us to be able to offer that stage to you to go encourage these agents that are getting into this business to just say, guys, it can be fun. It can be amazing. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So congrats. I see the smile. We're celebrating with you. All right, so here's kind of where I wanted to go with this. Authoring just kind of rocked my world the last 2 days. How many of you felt the same way? Right? It was like she just spoke life into so many pieces of life, and I felt so empowered to then go out and have conversations. And I feel like people got put in my path in the last 2 days to take this. And so we know we're in a shift. We know without a doubt we are in a shift. And the past 5 years, if you think about it, we have literally studied cover to cover the MREA book, the Shift book, and the One Thing. And even when we go back through the One Thing, you hear something different because we're all at a different place in our life and in our business. No one day, no one page is the same for everybody. And so I feel like the shift can affect our mindset on the fundamentals. And I had the privilege of talking to a dear friend of mine who they moved to Florida 20 years ago, didn't know a soul, and they started their PT practice. It has blown up to be the #1 PT practice in all of Southwest Florida. And when I talked to her the other day, she said, I'm just exhausted. I am so burnt out. Like, I don't love what I do anymore. And I'm thinking, huh? Like, how is that even possible? And so we started talking about what they did to build it when she felt out of love, because the title of today is From Mindset to Momentum, Love What You Do. And they started as a PT practice, and then throughout the years, shiny objects entered their space. Oh, we can offer cold plunges. We should offer sauna. We should offer massages. We should offer this. And all of a sudden, their fundamental, the core base of their business became more spa-like, less necessary, and more, hey, if I want to go do this, I'll be a part of it. And she looked up one day and said, I'm exhausted because I'm beating every one of these levers and it's not true to who I am. And I said, holy smokes, how many of you real estate agents can relate to that? I feel like Jessica Starr totally hit that nail on the head. And so we started walking through what did they really love? And they loved the patience. They loved being able to help people rehabilitate. They loved that piece of it, but they got so distracted. And so what I thought was, could it be possible that we don't have to reach burnout to make a change? Like as you're going through the process, you don't have to feel like none of this is working because we're doing so many things. And then I thought, well, Leah, you said momentum, from mindset to momentum. Hear this. Momentum does not equal production. So if you're building momentum right now, I don't want you to think like, I got to go out and go sell 100 homes. No, you need to build momentum towards the life that you want to live. However, it also means that the actions you take today will create the life that you desire to live. And so I kind of wanted to unpack today. Lead generation is it is the fundamental piece. We can't get around it. And this is a people business. And if you don't like to talk to people, you might want to find something else to do. And that's not a bad thing. It genuinely means you have to be in relationship with people. And there's a million different ways that you can do this, right? And we hear them. So what I want to hear from you guys is, how are you lead generating in a way that you love? And what are you actually doing every day? And it might not be from 9 to 11. This isn't this class of like, do this. Stop. How are you truly lead generating in a lane that you love? And I want people that are in a place who feel stuck, who maybe have tried everything and feel like it's the end of the road, or maybe you built this massive business and you're like, I'm ready to eject. I'm ready to literally hit the button, parachute out of the plane and start over. Maybe you take just one thing away from these amazing people. Hang on, Ann. Take one thing away to say, okay, what if I did that? What if I was intentional in this space? What if, hey, I love yoga. I'm going to lead generate in the yoga, whatever it is. I want to hear from you today. There's no right or wrong. However, let's be purposeful to encourage somebody to take action today and build that momentum. Authorine, your hand was up first, and I have to honor you because this is all spawned because of your share and pouring into us the last 2 days.
Thank you, Leah. And I just love having this conversation. And as you were speaking, I was like, yes, 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 yes. And so what I'm going to say right at the very top is, what is your purpose? finding that purpose and wrapping wherever you are around purpose, because that's where it all begins, right? So if you know what your purpose is on this earth, whether you're a school teacher, you're doing real estate, you're doing whatever you're doing at the moment, that is pretty much just using your voice in that space, right? And yes, all of us have wanted to quit at some point. I have, oh God, so many times. But here's the thing, you got to realize that wherever you are, that's where you need to be at the moment, right? And number two, shiny objects, Leah. Oh, good gracious me. Agents and shiny objects without a plan. So you go to a conference, you hear of this great thing, and all of a sudden you've thrown out everything that you love to do because you want to go try this shiny thing. Just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. If you're meant to lead generate by doing events, do an event, do an event. Do an event. Stay face to face with people. Just stay in the place that you love, where you are lighting people up and where you're growing some people. Does that make sense?
100%. I always say lead generate in your lane, and it's not lead generation.
It is not. It's almost, and you and I have talked offline thousands of times about using it as a ministry. And I know that's not a nice word to use on this in this forum, but it's a ministry, right? It's a ministry, and you are not gonna love it all the time. Let's just keep it real.
Yep.
Sometimes you're gonna hate real estate and you're gonna want to quit. But
Love it.
don't quit. Don't quit. Just
Nope.
keep going.
All right, Allison Brent, how are you lead generating in a way that you love?
So yesterday I had an awesome day. We were in the DD2s, the Ds, and I sent personal notes. I'll put it in the Facebook group with a little thing of sunscreen, a little note. I hope you're enjoying your summer. And that gave me a lot of joy because my clients are going to love it. They're going to love to get a little note from me. And that's what I know. I looked at all of where my business comes from. It all comes from past clients and referrals and their family. And so I'm sticking with that.
Love it. Don't deviate from that. Brent, are you got something to add, superhero Brent?
So, I'm out there amongst the community in the Chamber of Commerce. I'm the president at IVAR. I mean, I've got all these different things. So meet and greets are the big thing I like to do. I like to be around and, belly to belly, face to face.
Yep. Love it. Miss Janet Raby Meyer. I feel like I should sing your name.
Aloha, friend. So I am the Florida-born opera singing, tree hugging realtor. And sometimes things come up that someone asks me to do. And I'm so honored that they're asking me to be the liaison between this organization and my church, for instance. Wonderful. But literally, I had just resigned from something that I had been on a board of like the week prior, and here comes something else where somebody wants me to be doing a thing, and it doesn't fall into the Florida-born opera singing, tree hugging realtor. So I'm working on staying in my lane. And so what that lane looks like is I'm having concerts in my home, and it's not always me singing. I just had a former voice student of mine, a very talented young man, give a recital in my house. I said, you should come and sing this summer in my house. So you have a project this summer. And trust me, all the people who came to hear him sing, they got many touches leading up to the event. They enjoyed the event. We had pictures at the event. I sent an AM card with pictures from the event. And they all think it's so cool what I'm doing. And then they ask me about real estate. So I'm staying in my lane. And people will ask you, they'll see that you're doing something and they'll say, oh, we should ask her, we should ask him to do this other thing. And it's a valid thing, but stay in your lane.
Yep. Love it. All right, I know we have a lot of hands up in 5 minutes, and I want to hear this. So, Jolie, what are you doing to lead generate in a place that you love?
Yeah, so for me, it's all about my community. And this is for a tip for new agents or people relocating or all of that kind of stuff, thinking you might not have the database and all of that. So when we moved, I did as many open houses as possible because for me, open houses spoke to me. I then started a local Facebook group for moms because that also spoke with me. We moved with a 3.5-year-old, so I needed to live where I was in life, right? And work that out. So I built my database from all of that. And it's just a matter of find what speaks to you and go all in and be purposeful about it.
Love it. Dan.
Good morning and thank you. Yes, I actually lead generate through local and state history, being president of the Piscataway Historical and Heritage Society. Currently, we're rolling out a logo competition geared towards school-age children to come up with a logo. Because if we can get the children involved in local history, then the parents follow.
Perfect. That's being true to who you are. I love it. Dean.
Hey, good morning, and thanks so much for the opportunity, Leah. When I'm passionate about where I live, there's another real estate company in town that has a slogan. I'm not trying to talk about them, but it's love where you live. So whenever I talk to anybody, I find out, the part of the city they live in, if I'm calling Chicago people, and I'll find out a little something interesting and valuable for that neighborhood or that area they live in. And I share that with them. So what I'm trying to do is get connectivity right away. And as a byproduct, they know that I know where they live. It's not a stretch. I've lived here for like a billion years. So if you go from the perspective of what might turn them on, what do you think they're going to want to hear about where they live, where they are, what if there's anything interesting about it, you make the conversation interesting, you increase the chances of effective engagement. So just a thought. Thanks. Let me share.
Love it. All right, Deb Morris, what are you doing to love how you lead generate?
Well, like a lot of you get involved in so many things. Between my neighborhood art, my two chambers, the church, the market center, I kept saying getting overwhelmed. So what I've realized is if I do end up doing events, which thanks to Ellie and all of your ideas, doing more monthly events, and inviting others to co-sponsor and attend, I'm able to combine all of that. So I'm not actually out there doing everything physically. And I'm also considering myself as the connector. And interesting at the Bible study devotion that I was doing this morning, talking about being a servant and how can you serve others. So instead of doing everything, being that leader and serving others and inspiring others and connecting everybody. So that's what I choose to do. Thanks for letting me share.
I love that. Thank you. Kira.
So, what I do for Legion, because I am your real estate cheerleader through and through, is I celebrate others. That's not just me having events and celebrating people, but also showing up for other people's events. Because I think sometimes we have all the events, but are you also showing up for the other people in the age range that I'm in? Everyone wants to host. People are having babies left and right, getting married. So I just get to be a cheerleader for others. And then naturally, they want to cheer me on by giving me some referrals in the name of Jesus. And then also being an example on social media. Like the talk that I talk, I'm actually walking that too. So that's what I do.
You are such a cheerleader. I love you.
Thanks.
All right, Jennifer, what are you doing to love where you lead gen?
So I have gone small. I joined a couple different book clubs and I go and I bring something, and I shared this last year and I really love on them. And I've now invited them to my table builders. And the other thing I do is I like to go to farmers markets on the weekend, and I talk to all the vendors and I pass out my card and I take pictures of their products and I put them on social media and I highlight them and I tag them, and then they turn around and buy houses, believe it or not. That's how it works. So I do all the things that I love to do because I can't stand picking up the phone and calling somebody that I don't know. So I would rather, put on my hat and a great outfit and walk around the farmer's market and buy corn on the cob and tomatoes and chit chat with people making candles and doing all that. I know that's not everybody's vibe, but it works for me.
It's your vibe, and that's what matters because it can't ever be broken. It's true to who you are. All right, Amy, we're gonna get you and Barb in. I wish I could get everybody else. Go put your responses in the chat on Facebook, right? So Amy, let's hear. What are you doing to lead gen where you love?
I'll be really quick. So for me, it is about a lot of my business is Sphere and referrals, agent to agent or Sphere referrals. And I just love on my people. And if there's a new business that I see maybe struggling that needs some direction, I will use them and then shout them out if they do a really good job for me. So I think it's about, I'm a big believer in karma. And for me, it's about just loving on people who need it and maybe just are going through a phase, because we all go through them. So, and 90% of my business this year is referrals.
Love it. All right, Barb, close us out.
Okay, really quick, it's music. So I host music events, and if I don't have a music event I'm hosting, I invite people to other music events. And it's just sharing the joy of dance, and sometimes they're outdoor events, sometimes they're indoor events, but either they're at my place or I invite them elsewhere.
You're speaking right to my heart. We hosted our summer music festival on Tuesday night. We had 50 of our VIPs. There were 700 people. Our 50 VIPs were like, you know all these people? No. I just piggybacked off that event. We have 2 referrals, over $1 million in business from that one event. So what I would encourage you today, and you're hearing that from people, look at your calendar and say, you know what, if I love these things, I love going to the gym, I love going for walks, I love dogs, who you are as a person should be what you're doing every single day for your lead generation, not sitting there pounding the phones, doing things that you're not going to do, because that's where burnout happens. So if you need help kind of unpacking like who you are, just keep track of what you do each week, what brings you joy, when you find you have the most energy, and say, how am I connecting with people that are genuine to this space? And then go build your business plan around that, because I promise burnout will not be a part of your world, and you will live the life that you deserve, the life by design. All right, folks, you have your inspiration. I apologize I took you 2 minutes over. Go crush it this weekend. Happy Aloha Friday. We will see you back on Monday morning.
Thank you, Leah. Thanks,
call,
Leah.
Leah.
Great weekend,
Have a
everybody.
good weekend,
Thank you, baby.
Awesome job.
Thank you, Leah. So much.
Thank you, Leah.
Great job, Leah.